Hey guys, how y'all doing? It's been a while since I've been on here. I've been taking a little bit of a break from my live podcast and everything, but tonight I'm doing something a little bit different. Uh, this is a pre-record, but I have the one and only Whiskey Biz on tonight, and we're gonna have some fun. So I'm not gonna give a big intro or nothing. I'm just gonna bring him right up. Whiskey
What's up, dude?
Biz, dude. Hey, how
What's
you
up,
doing?
man? I'm doing
Oh,
good, dude. Got me some spicy Sprite mixed up, ready to just hang out for a little bit.
heck yeah. Heck yeah. I saw you here a couple of weeks ago and took some video of you, threw it out there, and you've been doing some racing, a little bit of.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, man, I appreciate that for real because one of the hardest things, man, making videos and content and everything, especially when it's my job, is to film myself. So
Yeah.
definitely appreciate all the you guys and the gals out there that film and post me and share it with me. Just know I greatly appreciate it.
I, that's awesome. I love videoing you because you're one hell of a racer. I tell you what, your driving skills are second to none. That you laid it over at the loop at Cody
Yeah, dude.
Wayne's event there. And I felt that in the ground. I was like 20 feet away from you, and I felt it in the ground, and I'm like, oh boy, because
Yeah,
I
that
it's
that uh that one was kind of rough on me, first one back and it's kind of tough to describe it unless you've been in the situation, but surprisingly enough, like the ones where you just kind of flip and stick, or the at least my, the crashes or the rollers I've been in, those are the ones that hurt the worst because all the forces into one shot versus, if it goes a time or two, it kind of, yeah,
yeah,
it might build momentum and slam hard, but usually, at least my experience is it kind of, you have multiple, you know, milder crashes versus one really hard one. And that thing freaking, yeah, man, I was bruised on my shoulders. I was bruised on my, across my waist from my harness.
oh wow,
Um, all good, but it was rough.
yeah. Well, I that was like a downward, and it at the very like bottom of it is where your tires caught, and that's a King of the Hammers car. That's not a like a short course car. Nothing. It's up there. You can have like what 25, 30 inches of suspension travel on that thing, and that's what the car is
Yeah,
used for. So
yeah,
it's
it's meant to hit whoops and do, to crawl over rocks and stuff, not to lay down in corners and stuff like
ex-
that by any means.
yeah, and I felt that thud in the ground, and I'm like, I kind of muted it out of that video. I'm like screaming at the guys. I'm like, dude, get over there and check on him because it's no secret you just had some surgery,
Yeah,
and that's what I
yeah,
was worried
yeah.
about. And I stopped videoing, and I walked over there, and I saw you get out, and you were kind of, I knew you were okay, but enough
Yeah,
about
dude. I mean, it knocked the wind out of me a little bit, and I got it out that I was good, and I just needed to kind of get out and get my breath a little bit, because it was, yeah, yeah, I mean, even now I'm still kind of sore with, healing up from my surgery and shit, but, um, the doctor cleared me, and she cleared me actually a week before, and my wife was like,
what.
hold on. Yeah.
Are you
So we
serious?
were, yeah. So they cleared me. She technically cleared me the week before, and there was three. The surgeon was in there, and she had like two helpers, or whatever. And my wife was like, "Do you know who he is, though?" And she said, "Well, I didn't until the day of the surgery. I found out I kind of gotten through the hospital who you were, or whatever." And she goes, "Are you need to understand this guy's gonna go wide open if you say he's clear." And she's like, and she looked at me and she looked at the other girls and she's like, "Will you give me one more week?" And I was like, I'll give you as many weeks as you want. Just know when you give me the green light, it's on." So she's like,
Right.
"Okay, give me 7 more days." And I was like, "All right, cool." So yeah, that was like that wreck or whatever was like 10 days after. So I was plenty clear.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, guys, I think most people don't know. I've known Bryce for a few years now, And no, you know what? I think that's disrespectful. Sorry, Whiskey Biz. I am very sorry. Whiskey
Dude.
Biz, you're the man. I tell you what, the first time I met you, I did not know who Whiskey Biz was. It was an event there actually at the Loop too when they first opened. It's going to be a
Mhm.
ride. A mutual friend of ours, Joe Michaels, kind of he said,
Yep.
I think he got a hold of you and said, "Hey, come on down." And I was the one that actually started kind of. We had found that Bounty Hill, and I was like, I started running my mouth a little bit. Hey, I got $100 on if anybody can make it up there, and it kind of blew up. It was
Yeah.
crazy. It was crazy, and that's where I met you the first time. And I had not heard of. I think I'd seen Whiskey Biz, but I didn't know how big you were. I did my own thing. I just you know played
Dude,
my videos.
I'm that shit happens for me too all the time. Well, my he's a good friend of mine now, Sean, the what no way guy. I Same thing, man. He has at least triple the following of me. And
Really?
when we first met and started kind of talking and hanging out a little bit, I was like, I had no, I think I had followed him. I know that I'd seen the what. I knew I'd seen his face on the internet before, but
Yeah,
dude, he crushes me. But I still didn't really, you know what I mean? Like I was like, oh yeah, he's. I've seen a couple videos of him. I didn't know he was like what he is, you know. So yeah,
sure.
dude, that happens all the time. I don't expect anybody to know anything. You know, I actually prefer it whenever I meet them for the first time. They don't know who I am because then it's like I get them for real. You know, some people like
Yeah,
treat
real.
me differently. Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
I like that. I
exactly.
like that realness on the first interaction. You know.
Yeah, well, I think I came up to you and like, "Hey, nice buggy, dude. Thanks for coming." And we didn't talk but like 5 seconds. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And then later on, I'm like, "Holy crap, that's who that is." But anyway,
Hmm.
that was a good event. And then we started seeing each other throughout the, different events and going on. And actually I grew from that. I just used to put when I first started, it was like just bland videos, just trail riding. That's it. But
Yeah.
you have actually grown a lot. I think that was about the time you started doing social media full time.
Yeah. It's probably pretty close to it. Yeah.
So, um, and I got some questions about that. I've seen people ask you different things about what you did before and all that. And we know Whiskey Biz name came from, was it a party bus?
Yep.
That was a business you had. That's cool.
Yep.
But one of the questions that I've been thinking about for a long time is like, say you were in high school, okay? What
Hmm.
what did you want to do when you were in high school? I mean, did you? I'm sorry, you're a freshman in high school. I'm sure you're 17, 18 years old, or
Yeah.
eh, I'm sure you were probably chasing and partying, or maybe I don't
Yep.
know. So what was you doing?
Yep. Dude, so yeah, I was a punk kid, man. You know, I liked my idols were like rock stars and stuff. I started getting tattoos young and had my ear, started stretching my ears out. I was a little emo punk kid, dude. I was the smallest kid. Seriously, I was the smallest kid on the football team in high school. My dad made me play one sport, so I was into motorsports, and I wanted to race ATV motocross, and I did, and I got pretty good at that for a while. But yeah, I just like my idols were like Bam Margera and like just and just like some other rock stars and stuff. Like I wasn't interested like in any sports. I would always say the sports I'm into, require two balls. That type of
Yeah.
stuff. And yeah, so I was doing the bare minimum. I couldn't. I was not the type of dude that would sit in class and pay attention. I'm worried about chicks and getting out of here. And I did know that I wanted to whenever my dad at one point he's like, "What are you gonna do when get out of when you're out of school or whatever?" And I told him I wanted to build motorcycles. I wanted to build, and I didn't even have a motorcycle, never even owned
Okay.
one, but
Yeah.
like the West Coast Choppers and Jesse James and stuff like
Yeah.
that was like hot. That was
Oh
like the
yeah.
thing then.
I'm sure it was
Yeah,
about
so I
that
was like,
time.
yeah, I'm like, I want to be like those guys. Those guys are cool. They build cool stuff, and that's what I want to do. And my dad was like, dude, I'll never forget it. He's like, well, just know that like if you do something like that, you're never really going to make money. Like if you do fun stuff for a living, you're not going to make money. If you do stuff that's not fun and stuff that others aren't willing to do, you could make a lot of money. And I was like, oh yeah. So that's kind of how I got into HVAC. I was like, okay, I found like a trade that I didn't think was going to go anywhere. I know how much I like heat and air, and um, I thought that'd be something good to go into, and it is. It's a great trade to go into, and
Right.
but that was like that's me as a punk kid, man.
Yeah. Well, at what point did you go, I want to do something a little bit different and actually go for it? You were already in that trade though, right?
Yeah, yeah. I was into trades like my whole life. So I was doing HVAC for a while, and then I got into some of the guys. Like there's basically two companies under one roof, and there were some guys that were doing like the welding and the fabricating and stuff like that, working in the working doing like industrial maintenance. Going in plants, Toyota plants, General Mills plants,
Yeah.
GM plants, and working on stuff. And I was like, man, I want to. Those guys are making a little more money than me, So a couple of them just kind of taught me how to stick two pieces of metal together. I wouldn't even call it welding, enough to get me by. So I started like they kind of showed me the ropes a little bit, and then I
So
started getting into that.
you're self-taught
Oh yeah,
welder.
yeah. I never the
Best
like
way.
buddies and stuff on job site taught me. I've never been in any school or anything, but I've held a lot of certifications and stuff. Like if I had a job site coming up that I needed to have this cert, I'd go test for it and get it. You know.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Speaking of that, I saw a little video here recently of last weekend. I haven't seen the actual video, but you tumbled down. Was that Viagra or Tanner
Oh
Line?
yeah, yeah. BMR. Yep,
BMR.
got me. Yep. That Viagra will get you, bud.
Yep.
No, that hill, man, it's been on my list for a while to climb because I started doing so. Some people don't know this, some do, but I started in the side by side game when the Razor came out in '08. I had one. I've had a Razor. Well, it's I guess technically '07. I had one in '08, and ever since then I've had one. But I started out doing we used to call it creek bouncing. We'd go right down the creeks, and we
Yep.
wasn't rock bouncing. We didn't have those kind of funds, but we call it creek bouncing, and we'd be bouncing the buggies on the creek banks and trying to climb them and stuff, and then it kind of escalated from there, and we got in. I started racing Southern rock racing. I had a tube chassis razor and stuff, and I was racing all the rocks and all that stuff.
Oh, really? I
And
didn't know that.
yeah, yeah, I raced, Tim Cameron and, all the guys,
Yeah.
I've raced all those guys, yeah, or if they were racing in, like, let's see, I ran a 2014 1K in 2000, Razor 1000 XP in 2015, and then in 2016, I built a tube chassis Razor 1000, and then all the guys were building turbos. And I'm like, I just can't afford to do it. So I was done.
Yeah.
I only raced Southern Rock Race in 2 years. I think it was 15 and 16 or 14 and 15, one of the two, but regardless. Um, but long story short, that hill has been on my list for a while. And so I was just a little tempted that night and, had some of this holy water in me. And I was like, I'm going to go hit that thing. Really, dude, I was trying to honestly, man, I was trying to get the party started. Everybody was standing around, like looking at the hills and stuff. And I'm like, is anybody going to hit this thing? And I was like,
Oh, with that
I was
event,
gonna hit
the
it. Yeah, yeah, BMR. Um, I knew that Busted Knuckle was gonna film the next morning, and I was gonna try it with him. So that way, at least if I crashed, I'd be on his highlight reel or low light reel. What do you call a reel if you crash? It's not a highlight reel, but
yeah, I think it's called the highlight reel. Well, that's what I would call it.
yeah. I mean, that's what people come to watch, or even when they're scrolling, that's what they're looking forward to watch. But
Yep.
so I was going to do it there, and then anyways, yeah, I crashed it, and I ripped the whole back of the cage off. It's actually sitting over there right now. I took the cage off of it and everything. I got everything coming to build a new one. So
All right. And you build
yeah.
drone cages now?
Oh no, I mean I'm doing it now because I've got a quick turnaround time, and I wouldn't ask John to do that for me.
Yeah.
Um, he runs a real business and stuff, and I'm uh I'm just a I'm just a joker who makes videos. So I'm trying to
Don't say that.
whip it. I'm gonna whip it out real quick. I used to build all my own stuff, till I met John, and since then he's been building them for me. But now I've got to knock this thing out quick because the bounty course is coming up and River Run. So
Yeah.
um, I
That's
wouldn't
why
put
I
that
was
on nobody.
asking.
I wouldn't put that on. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. That's kind of why I was asking about that. So, man, you have so many projects going. You had told me you like get up at 3 in the morning and you go out to your shop, and I'm sure that was like
yeah,
killing you whenever you couldn't do that because of your surgery. But I tell you what,
yeah,
honestly, you're my idol for that. I just the passion you put into everything with the social media and people that walk up to you, super nice guy. Guys, if you're watching this and you're not following Whiskey Biz, you're definitely missing out because this guy is
well,
like
thank you, man.
entertaining from everything. And I honestly don't like sharing a lot on my page anymore. But I definitely share your stuff because
Well, thanks, man.
I mean, it's entertaining to me. That's what I'm gonna share. And you've been very supportive of me, especially since I've met you in the past year or two. So, and thank you for that.
Yeah.
Um, some of the things that um, I had been thinking about the way we had talked about some stuff before we got on here. Man, you had me intimidated. You're like, ask me stuff nobody else has, and I'm like, we've been talking for a long time, dude. I mean, shoot a text here and there or whatever. We get to an event, we just sit down and talk. But I did not know what to ask you at all, and I we're not doing this live for a couple of reasons. But this is my first time doing like a pre-record, and one of the things is um, who comes up with the logos and stuff like that? I'm sorry for changing the subject, but it's been eating at me. And my,
No, you're
and my
cool.
wife is like, no, don't ask him that. I'm like, who came up with small dick, big dreams? I'm like,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, dude. That's a good question, man. So big dreams specifically. Um, I heard on a podcast a guy say something similar, and I basically was like that. It wasn't, I don't remember exactly what he said as of right now, but it certainly wasn't small dick big dreams. It wasn't that. I took what he had said, his message was similar, and I was like, man, I need to clean that up, and like that's funny. That'll be something funny to say. Well, then I want to say that I'd said it a couple in a video or something. I don't remember exactly,
yep,
but then I just remember texting my wife one day. Mind you, I'm still working full time job. She's still working a full time job. I texted her that I want small dick big dreams. Put it on a t-shirt. I don't care what the colors are. I don't care any. Oh, and just so you know too, I used to be jacked at one time. I used to be a couple 100 pounds like jacked, and
I had heard
uh,
that. Yeah,
yeah, I'll tell you about that too. I use it. I thought I have a really it's my greatest strength and weakness is that I really like go for everything 100%. I know like
I can see that.
it's, I just obsess over it, until I get there, or if even if I don't get there, I know that's the biggest and strongest that I can ever get right there. Like I know what it looks like because I've done it.
Yeah,
I've pushed myself to the absolute limit. I know what it looks like. As far as being a side by side racer, I know that I can race King and Hammers with Cheney and Hager and Cody. Well, I know that I can because I've done it. I push myself all the way to the very, whatever it is that I've got 56 million views on a video because I know that I can because I knew that like I pushed myself to the absolute limit in everything that I've focused on. But so anyways, back to big dreams. Um, I and so my wife was like, immediately she texted me back. She's like, hello, like, okay, text me back. And so she printed it out on a Cricut, and I wore it to a county fair, and it was just like a hit. People were loving it. And the reason I told you that I used to be jacked because the video went kind of viral, and I was wearing the shirt. and I'm standing there and I'm eating a corn dog, waiting in line to do the Marines pull-ups, right? And I'm standing there eating a corn dog, just looking like a degenerate. And it says how many pull-ups can I do on there or whatever. And I don't remember how many it was or whatever. But I went up there and I'm just like boom, 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 doing a bunch because at the time I was really strong. And yeah, so basically Big Dreams is born from there. I'm not claiming I'm the first one to ever say it or write it down or whisper it to their friend. I just know that I kind of brought it to the light as far as like people wearing it out and stuff, like brought it to the mainstream. Uh, but yeah, that's where Big Dreams came from. And a lot of the shit, dude, a lot of the
Okay.
stuff that we have is all something that's been said or a buddy said or
Right.
a follower's said. It's
You just kind
nothing
of
we've
go with it.
never.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I can honestly tell you that I've never seen something, and this is something that others can't that rip me off can't say. Like I've never seen something and been like, I'm stealing that. It's all been
Right.
something organic and true to the brand that we've just
Oh,
heard
yeah.
it or
Exactly.
put our spin on it or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah, that's kind of well, that's what I meant whenever I said that too. But yeah, I figured you'd put your spin on something that was said, maybe, I don't
Yeah.
know, private or oh, buddies hanging out in the shop. You know what I mean? Because I'm sure we do that just like you do. So
It was literally it was something. It was like a full blown sentence. The Big Dreams was. It was like oh she she still loves me even though I got a little wiener. She knows that my heart's right and I've got good intentions or something. It was like something like that. And I was like, okay,
yeah,
that's hilarious. Let's tighten it up a little bit and make it a thing. And
it
that's what I
blew up
did.
definitely because I see people wearing your shirts all over the place, even out in public, even where I live here. I mean, we're
You
both in Missouri,
bro,
and
you know that you're doing something right when people start stealing it, you know? That's when you know it's right.
exactly, and that's another question that I was gonna ask you about too. You are now verified on Facebook, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
You had a bit of an issue with that, or was it Instagram or something like that?
They still won't
It took a
verify me
while.
on TikTok for whatever reason, but, yeah, I actually at one point, yeah, there's so many fake accounts of me out there on
Yep.
Facebook right now, but actually at one point, it's been years ago. I know I was still working a job, and I whenever this happened, I thought I was screwed and never gonna get it back. But at one point, my actual Facebook account did get hacked, and they're holding it hostage. Wanted money and stuff to give it back, and I ended up fortunately I got it back through Facebook, or Meta, whatever. So it all worked out, but yeah, that was a shitty deal.
Yeah. Well, when I started, I lost my Facebook, kinda similar. So I started all over here a couple of years ago. So it
And
was
it's when stuff like that, it was really bad with TikTok for a while. A lot of people were losing their accounts and stuff. And I just set my stuff to private and didn't post on there for like months just because I was like, how can they, how can
mhm,
they can't do it? I can't get strikes. I can't get that and this, that, and the third if I just don't do nothing. And
right.
luckily I had the account warning on there for like 2 months and then it went away and I was all good.
Well, see, that's the way it is with my TikTok. Every time I turn around, I get flagged as impersonating a celebrity, and I'm like, I don't know what celebrity I would be impersonating because I'm definitely not one. But I mean, I have a
Dude,
bunch of accounts with a couple
that
100,000 followers. So
yeah, dude, you've been doing well for real. I know even your Facebook was at like 80 or something in it.
no, I think it keeps hovering around like 44, 45, and it's what's
Okay,
weird is it goes up and then I drop some. And then it goes up and down. I don't know why.
dude,
It's kind of weird.
I'm dealing with that on my YouTube right now. So YouTube is like I check my MySpace more than my YouTube. You know what I mean? Like I don't really all the way up until here in the last year. I'm not really a YouTube guy. But I've been trying to get the damn button, man. I've been trying to get the 100,000 button, and I'm 700 freaking subscribers away from getting it. And that damn thing is like, just kidding, just
Why? That
kidding.
is
I'm
crazy.
at Yeah, I've been at like, I don't know, 99 for I don't know how long. And
Oh,
here's the crazy part on Facebook. Well, you were with me when I broke a million, right?
yep,
At the loop.
yep.
When I broke a million on Facebook, I gained 80,000 followers in a day.
That's awesome.
How do you do that? How do you get 80,000 a day on Facebook and I can't get 800 in a month on, it's crazy. I don't know.
I have heard other people that I know that are creators or whatever on YouTube and say they're I don't know if something's messed up with their algorithm or their system or what. But my issue right now is my Instagram, because when I started that way before I started my Facebook, I mean, I had up to 170,000 followers on Instagram at one time, and now I'm like down
Hmm.
to 130, and I do not get likes anymore on there. I don't think it's because I think it's because of my old content that I used to post was just boring trail riding, and I look at my analytics a lot, and what I thought was crazy back then. I mean, I'm sure you look at your analytics, don't you, on your
No,
social media?
never.
You haven't? Well, what I
Nope.
did was I looked up, and my biggest following was in New York City. So,
Okay. So I have actually done that. Like some of my brand deals and stuff, they want me to go and screenshot that and send it to them, you
uh-huh.
know, just mainly so I can show them everything's organic. A lot of people out there are buying the shit. And when I go doing my brand deals, I'm transparent, dude. I don't do none of that stuff. So I have went and done that. And then the only other time I look at any of that stuff is like just to see what my checks are gonna be, you know.
Yeah. I mean, there's no point in doing that now. And I think a lot of the security issues have stopped some of that from what I have heard. I don't know.
Well, dude,
But
with me, the gloves are off, dude. I'm doing everything I can. I'm swinging for the fence every time. There's no getting on base for me. You know what I mean? I'm giving you guys everything I got. You
yep.
know what I'm saying? For real. Like I'm not making you go to. I will wait a month before I post a video if it's not going to be good. If I'm not,
Yep.
when I got it ready, I'm excited to post it. Like it's not. Um, I'm doing. I don't know. Like I don't look at it really necessarily like I have a competition. But I look at it like if people compare me to like, oh, you want to be Whistling Diesel, you're comparing me to him, whether you like it or not. You're saying that. Like so, I
No.
look at it like that's the stage I'm dancing on. You know what I mean? So,
Right.
um, I'm making shit. I'm giving you guys the best I can every single time. You know what I mean?
Well, you're
Uh,
real. You're real, dude. And that's one of the things that I know about you. Nothing is BS. You're real. And
Thanks,
even
man.
the
But and
people that
that I guess what I was getting at is like that's why I don't check my analytics because it means nothing to me because
yeah,
you know, I'm giving you 100% every time. This like you talked about getting up early. I got up early at 2:30 this morning. You know what I mean?
yep,
And I've been out here
that
worked my
mind's
ass off
been
on the
working.
bike, edited the video, got it up today.
Yeah, your mind has been working ever since you opened your eyes this morning. I guarantee it. That's why I kept saying, "Oh man, that had to kill you." Whenever you couldn't go out to the shop,
Yeah,
so
dude. When I told my wife, I was like, "Can I go out there and just like clean my tools a little bit?" Like,
Paige
she
is
was
like,
like,
"No,
if you pick up, yeah, it's like if you pick up anything and you hurt yourself, you have a doctor's appointment in a couple days. Like that's on you."
yeah."
So
Boss Whiskey Biz is awesome. Or also, I tell you what, guys, like I'm going to say it again. If you're not following Whiskey Biz or Boss Whiskey Biz, you need to do it. I can't imagine anybody that follows me not following you, but in case there is, there you go.
well,
But
thanks,
we
man.
look, yeah, well, you're always entertaining. Good dude. Man, I know you put out a list of stuff where you're going next. So where you at? Where you going? Where you going next weekend?
I I got
You
River
gotta.
Run coming up in a couple weeks.
That's why you're got to get
Um,
your buggy fixed, right?
and then I'm probably like I got a lot of stuff done on the bike today, so I'm probably gonna set it aside, and then I'm gonna work on because I'm waiting on steel to show up. You know what I mean to build
Oh
the
yeah,
cage, and the dash blew out of it, so I got to put the dash back in it. Um, but I'll get that. I think I'll have that thing up and going. What will it be powder coated and stuff? I don't know. We'll see. But I really want to get the twin engine out, man. It's been sitting over here just collecting dust, and Super ATV has sent me a pallet of stuff to go on it. Um, and I've got hydro steering to go on it. I mean, this thing is going to be an absolute animal when I get it done. And so I'm thinking tomorrow I'm just going to take the gloves off and get onto that. Like I'm just going to, I think that'd be a lot of fun to run that thing in the bounty course.
Yes, definitely. I think I was one of the very first or few that got to take a video of that twin engine right after you built it. Other than the one videos you took, I think it was up there in Troy, Missouri, whatever,
Yeah.
you
Oh
unloading it.
yeah. Yeah. When we brought it out just to bring it out.
Yep, I think one of the very first that got the video it other than what you had posted of it, and holy cow, dude, I was like, "This guy's nuts." I
It's
knew it was a
funny,
rough
right?
draft. Yeah, it's a rough draft, but I was always wanting to I asked you, I texted you once, and I know you were probably busy or whatever. What if you put, like, the front in drive and the rear in reverse with, like, some
I
like,
still
slick
haven't done
tires?
that, dude. Holy
I
shit. If I get
know.
it done, I got to do, I'm going to do that.
I know, like, even on slick concrete, I bet that thing would, like, spin all over. Hopefully
Oh
not
yeah.
leave holes in your ceiling like the roller skates thing did, but, you know.
That I believe is still my biggest video, the roller skates.
Is it really?
I believe it is. Yeah.
That was
Yep.
nuts.
Yeah, I did
Was that
like 50 or 60 million or something like that on Facebook. But then the swing, where I put the razor in the swing,
yeah,
that was my biggest for a long time. On
well, I'm
on
sure it was.
Instagram, it did like 40 or 50 million.
Then the loop where you did
Dude,
the actual
here's the problem with the loop. I don't know exactly for sure. Maybe you can weigh in on this. I think so many people thought it was fake because I'll
I
tell you this,
saw
man.
I
I
s
spent $30,000 on that. I spent $30,000 building that, and then I spent another uh, uh 15, 16, 17,000. Probably closer to about 20,000 because I think I bought it off the marketplace for 16. That RS1 with the turbo,
uh-huh.
about $20,000 on the buggy. I'm not even putting that price in it. That's aside. I'm not talking about that. But that was built and tuned and clutched and everything for that. I'm putting that aside. 30
Yeah,
grand separate just to build that loop. And I lost my ass on that video, dude. Um,
really?
yes, 5, 6 million views, maybe. Nothing. Like
Wow.
that don't yeah, I can't even get out. I didn't even pay for the fuel that I used in the equipment to stand that thing up for that.
Yeah.
And I don't know if
That
it's too I don't know if it's too wild and people thought it was all because a lot of people just thought it was
that pro
AI.
well, yeah, that AI had really come about the time you put that video, and I guarantee you that was their first thought. "This is fake,"
Yeah.
whatever, and I saw comments, and I was like I made a few comments like, "You guys are stupid. I mean, he's not gonna do anything AI. He's real as real as hell." I mean, you know,
Yeah. And
but
I figured it was either that, like people thought it was AI, or they just didn't really understand the magnitude of what it was. Like I've had the amount of people that I've had come by and look at it. I remember Larry saw it before I did it, and he was like, "No way, dude, no way." And he was like looking at it. He's like, "It was nice knowing you," like for real. Like no one. There was a couple people in my circle that believed that it was possible, but anybody who saw it did not think it was
what
possible.
what about the wife? What was her feelings on it?
Well,
Be honest. Be honest,
I'm
Whiskey
trying to
Biz.
think. I'm trying to think back, man. It's been a few days. I've had a couple wrecks since then. I've had a couple freaking Pike
Yeah,
County champagnes.
yeah. You
Um,
probably you don't
she
have to answer
she
that
was
if you don't want to.
no, she was nervous about it, but I'm trying to think the day of. I remember her videos and stuff. She seemed like in a good mood. Um, I don't remember her totally hating it. But she never likes like, and truth is, I don't like the dangerous stuff either. Uh, I
Yeah,
just I just like when I get the idea in my head, like I said before, I obsess over it to the point where
it's
it's
gonna
going
happen.
there.
It's gonna
Yeah,
happen.
it will or it won't, but I'm going to find out.
Yeah. I remember you told me we were sitting talking at one time, and even when you the lawnmower, the zero turn, you'd put that motor on there. and you came flying out of the trailer or something, went sliding across the yard or something. You said, I just about died in I didn't get the video. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah. Um, yeah. What would you, I think that it was titled, like, what would you do if this guy showed up and mowed your lawn? And I came out of my Doolittle trailer, man, like wide open in that thing in my uh, driveway and completely lost control. Well, I mean, she did exactly what I told her to do was just film me coming out of the trailer, right? Like I wanted a lot of times we'll go over the shots and stuff. I was like, I want to fly out of the shot. Like you can't even keep up with me type of thing. Like film it. I'm going to fly out of the shot. Just get me coming off the trailer and then
blur
I'm
it.
out of
Yeah.
it. Yeah. And she did exactly that. Um, it just would have been so sick if like she would have been like, okay, cool, got the shot, stayed rolling, and then, but she didn't because I didn't. First of all, I didn't tell her to. But uh, yeah, dude, I went sliding down the driveway sideways for 40, 50 feet. I don't know. It felt like a lifetime, and I'm just any second it's gonna grab, and it didn't. I couldn't believe it. I just slid like Bo Duke, dude, like this. I just came, dude. I came in hot for real. I'm for real, and I just stopped, and it just a cloud of dust. And I was like, "Thank God," because that was going to put me on my lid hard if I did, but it didn't.
You say, did you get that? No, I cut it off. Like, oh my God. I've gotten the
Oh yeah.
same thing. I've gotten the same thing here. But you have gotten into other little things that you have made go fast also. And I think, okay, you was on a podcast that I think it was with Brittany, and I think Randy Alicia might have been on there. It was promoting something else, but you had showed us like a four-wheeler, maybe. Is there a four-wheeler?
Oh yeah. I put a 450R in a little Chinese 54 wheeler one time,
Okay. Um,
and
maybe it was
uh,
maybe it
and
was
then I put a
something.
450R into a 4x4, uh, like a 850, whatever what that thing is. Like it's not a scramble sportsman. I put a 450R in that one time.
Okay, have you ever done like a ATV with two engines, or is that just the side by side?
I just did it with the side by side, but that's kind of like, and this is kind of putting you onto something. So I haven't talked about. There's only one person on the planet I've talked to about this. It's Cody Willenberg. Because normally, like, he's the only one that, like, when I say stuff like put two engines into a side by side, people are like, okay. But Cody knows that I'm not fucking around, and then he kind of can get on the same wavelength. So the actual end goal with I know exactly which video you're talking about now, or the podcast live that we were talking about. My end goal is to, which I still may do. I've kind of given up on that project because I'm going to do something different. But was to put a 450R engine on each wheel. No more portals. 450R engine mounted on the end of the A arms on each wheel, and it'd be quite a bit of tuning and clutching and everything to get everything to work in series, but basically you'd have 60 horsepower in a built 450 on each wheel, and that's a lot of guys are like, I'm pushing 200 horse or 250 horse out of my Mav R or whatever. Well, that's great, but that's not to the wheel. This would be
To the wheel?
literally at
Yeah,
the wheel. Yeah,
right.
there's, I mean,
There's a big
uh,
difference.
it's huge. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like my end goal, like future thing that I've kind of got in my mind that I was kind of working towards with the 450R four wheeler. I was going to add two, and then I was going to do four, and I was going to, and anybody who's listening, they're going to go, hey, this guy's an idiot. That's not going to work because the way the drive works on the one, it's not going to work on the other. But I already compensated for that. I plan to use the Can-Am DS 450 engines on the other side because the drive's on the opposite side.
Oh, okay. Well,
So then
you
I would
think
just tune them and stuff like that.
right. Well, you think everything through on everything you do.
Kind of. A lot of it's
Yeah.
winging it.
Well, you know what? Sometimes that's the best way, trial and error too. You know what I mean? You already have in your mind You don't draw out plans. You just have it in your mind and start building. And that is a special talent that not many people have in this world. It's kind of a lost talent, and
Dude, it came from that part of it, of what I do even today, came from when I was a kid, man. And I wanted my four wheeler to do this or do that or whatever, and I
heck
didn't
yeah,
have, I mean, I didn't have no money to, buy the parts or whatever. So I was figuring out how I could do it,
right.
and that just stayed with me.
Yeah, yeah, that mind works crazy. Yeah, one of these days we get together again, I'll tell you about my background and you'll understand a little bit more why I'm so intrigued by what you do. So, um,
Sounds good.
one of the other questions that I've been bothering me, who's actually the boss around there? I mean, I
Well,
tell you, I
so
you, I tell you
when it comes
what,
to the creative, it's me. But when it comes to absolutely everything else,
it's
that's her, for
okay.
sure.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Well, I kind of thought that, but I just had to ask that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Um, no, dude, like for real, we're Bonnie and Clyde, dude. It's just this operation doesn't work without her. She's um,
Does she enjoy it as
I
much as
guess
you though?
she does, yeah. I mean, you know, and I think it's just I don't think it's not it's certainly not her. It's just any chick, any woman gets frustrated with their husband and stuff at times, and that just happens in life. And so
Yep.
so we
There's
work
no
through
avoiding
that.
that.
It's
Well,
like
by trade, I am a marriage counselor. So I mean,
that's
you need
right.
any of that, just give me a holler, brother. I tell you what.
I may need to do that. But
No,
no,
don't,
dude,
don't.
like the easiest way to put it is like, and this too, like doing some social media stuff, is like likes don't pay the bills. Like they just don't.
No.
So you gotta you gotta bring it in other ways, through merch and through brand deals and through all that. And
Sure.
my mind doesn't really work that way. So when it comes down to doing a brand deal or doing whatever, she runs all the merch, she runs the website, she does all the art, like as far as like brand deal stuff, she handles contracts, and she talks to brands for me. And hey, you need to put up a reel for Croyle today. And I'm like, oh, thank you so much, because no, I didn't. I'm over here building a freaking, whatever. Like, so she certainly makes it all possible. I mean, I would just be just I'd be broken, a month without her.
Well,
I mean,
I
she
totally get that. Yeah.
totally is the
Paige,
boss.
Paige is awesome. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, you all just got a new vehicle for her, and it's a Chevy, man.
Uh-huh. Yeah, she won't drive nothing but a Tahoe.
Really? Well, you're a Ford guy.
Nothing but a Tahoe.
But you're a Ford guy,
Well,
right?
so all the way up until when I quit my job, I've had Chevys my whole entire life. I had a couple, I had a Dodge and whatever. But out of the, I don't know, if I owned 100 trucks in my life, 90% of them were Chevys. Um, and then I just switched to Ford like probably last 3-4 years ago or whatever, and they've been good to me. So I'll just keep running them.
Well, that one you got now is super nice. Love it. Holy crap. Mine's a
Yeah, it's.
19, but that thing is sweet you got. So,
Are you talking about the big one?
well, is it a 450 or 350 you have now pulling your
Oh,
trailer?
I got a 350 that I pull my trailer with. It's nice. And that's the first new vehicle, I'm trying to think,
That's
that
what
I've
you
ever,
told me. That's what you
yeah,
told me.
that
You're
I've
like,
ever owned.
that's what you told me. It's like, dude, that's the first new vehicle I've ever owned. And I'm like, "Ah, congratulations. The smell of
Yep.
new
Yep.
when you get it and nobody else has tore crap up that you didn't know about. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and what I do, I avoided it this whole time because, like, you lose so much on these new vehicles. But what I do now, I don't go anywhere. I don't go anywhere, and but until I do, and then I go a long way. But uh,
Right.
every single day, I take 15 steps out here to my shop every day.
Yeah.
So I've had that truck a year and a half, 2 years, something like that. I don't know. It's a 24. Yeah, so I've had it a year and a half.
Year and a half.
It's got 20,000 miles on it. But keep in mind, it's been to California. It's been to, it's been Texas, it's been to Florida, been to Alabama a few times, been to, you know what I mean? I've had it everywhere. So
Been all over.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, Whiskey Biz, I want to thank you for coming on here. I tell you what, we've been talking about this for a while, and you know, it's crazy. Been crazy busy for me. I know that, and thanks for your time coming on here.
Yeah,
Maybe
dude.
we can do it again, and maybe one of these events or whatever. We'll do like maybe a little short live or whatever, you and myself.
Yeah, man.
So I appreciate it all, and especially the support you've given me over the past couple of years. It's you know,
Dude, it's two-way street, man. Like you guys are you guys filming me and posting me. I know, at least I hope, that it bumps your numbers. But just know that how much I appreciate it too, because I can't film my damn self, like
yeah.
so it freaking works both ways. Like seriously, on some real shit, it's you guys are don't get enough credit, for helping us out too.
Thank you. Well, if I ever get to an event and you're there and you say, "Hey, man, would you just shoot video for me?" I mean, I'd be glad to do that too. And
Okay,
I'll just
cool. Well,
share it after and give you the video. So I have no problem with that at all.
well, I
You
definitely
know.
appreciate it, man.
So um, I'm going to close this out, guys. We have a little bit of an exit video, and Bryce, don't leave the studio after that. Talk a little bit. We'll maybe plan something else. All right.
Sounds
So
good. Sounds good.
all right. Thank you all for watching. We will see you again soon. See you later, guys.
Peace.